Bonjour, moi je m'appelle Monsieur Jules et bienvenue dans cette nouvelle vidéo où nous allons parler de compléments d'objets indirects et compléments d'objets secondes et surtout comment les remplacer. Dans la vidéo précédente, nous avons parlé de compléments d'objets directs et je vais vous demander de regarder la vidéo pour pouvoir faire un contraste entre compléments d'objets indirects et compléments d'objets directs. Je vais utiliser le français et l'anglais dans cette vidéo pour que les étudiants en forme 2, forme 3, forme 4, ici au Kenya, me comprennent aussi facilement que possible. Un complément d'objet indirect is, just as the word indirect will suggest, it is introduced by a preposition. It doesn't come directly after the verb. Before it, there is always a preposition. So that's why we say it is un complément indirect, because it is always introduced by a preposition. Do you know the prepositions? Nous avons des exemples de prépositions. Par exemple, à, de, dans, sur, sans, avec, sous. All these are prepositions that would introduce un complément d'objet indirect. However, un complément d'objet indirect, in most times, it is introduced by the preposition a or de. But this, however, doesn't mean that you would not find other prepositions introducing un complément d'objet indirect. Un complément d'objet indirect can be a living thing, that is either a person or an animal. It can also be a thing, what we call objet inanimé in French, that it's not living, it's just a thing, or a notion. The pronouns that can be used to replace un complément d'objet indirect are the following. We have pronom complément d'objet indirect. Moi, toi, lui, nous, vous, leur. We have pronom tonique. Moi, toi, lui, elle, nous, vous, eux, and elle. Pronom adverbial on and pronom adverbial ye. As you may have noted, we have quite a number of pronouns that can be used to replace a pronom complément indirect. So it will be challenging to know which pronoun to use, but it is a very simple task. For the pronom complément d'objet indirect and pronom tonique, these two pronouns are pronouns that are also given the name pronom personnel, meaning that they only replace people and animals, objet animé. So then, where will we use pronom complément d'objet indirect and where would we use pronom tonique? Allow me to begin with pronom tonique. Any complement that is indirect and it's a person, then this would be replaced by a pronom tonique. For example, il parle à son père. We will say, il parle à lui. Il pense de sa mère. Il pense d'elle. Il téléphone à ses amis. Il téléphone à eux. Il danse avec sa mère. Il danse avec elle. Il choisit pour ses enfants. Il choisit pour eux. However, when this complément d'objet indirect has been introduced by the preposition a, and this complément is a person, then we would preferably use le pronom complément d'objet indirect. Look at these sentences. Il parle à son père. We would prefer to say, il lui parle. Il parle à sa mère. Il lui parle. Look at these two sentences. Son père is masculine. Sa mère is feminine, but we have used the same pronoun to replace the two. So, meaning that the pronoun lui, which is un complément d'objet indirect, will have the meaning him or her. Unlike le pronom tonique lui, which only has the meaning him. And to say her with pronom tonique, you will have to say elle. So take note of that. Il téléphone à ses parents. Il leur téléphone. Je parle à toi. Je te parle. Il donne à nous. Il nous donne. Il demande à vous. Il vous demande. Il parle à moi. Il me parle. So we are saying if the complement is introduced by the preposition a, then preferably let us not use le pronom tonique, but use le pronom complément d'objet indirect. And we use le pronom tonique when the complement is introduced by any other preposition, say, de, pour, avec, sans, pour ne citer que cela. I would, however, want you to take note of the verb penser. The verb penser followed by a and then a person will always use le pronom tonique. For example, il pense à son père. Never shall we say il lui pense. We will preferably say il pense à lui. So then, where shall we use le pronom on and le pronom y? Now, if un complément d'objet indirect is introduced by the preposition de, then that complément is going to be replaced by the pronoun on. For example, il parle de ses vacances. Il parle de ses vacances. Il en parle. Il a besoin de mangue. Il en a besoin. Il a envie de chocolat. Il en a envie. Il parle de ses études. Il en parle. You also need to note, however, that if the do is followed by a person, then we are not going to use on to replace a person. What we are going to use is pronom tonique. For example, il parle de son frère. Il parle de lui. Il pense de son ami. Il pense d'elle. And any other verb that would be followed by do plus a name of a person or a person in general, or even an animal. Take note that even an animal, par exemple, il parle de son chien. Il parle de lui. With pronoun y, it is used to replace ideas or things that are introduced by the preposition a. For example, il pense à ses examens. Il pense à ses examens. Il y pense. Il s'intéresse au sport. Il s'y intéresse. Je m'oppose à son opinion. Je m'y oppose. You also need to understand that the pronoun adverbial en and y can be used to replace places. We shall see that as we'll be dealing with complément de lieu. Let us now look at complément d'objet second. Why is it called complément d'objet second? Un complément d'objet second is just un complément d'objet indirect. Only that it may have been used in the same sentence with another complément d'objet indirect or complément d'objet direct. This meaning that we would have two compléments in the same sentence. For example, il présente son fils à son ami. Son fils is complément d'objet direct. And à son ami is complément d'objet indirect. However, it ceases to be called un complément d'objet indirect and acquires the name complément d'objet second. Il parle de ses vacances à son professeur. Il parle de ses vacances à son professeur. So, de ses vacances is complément d'objet indirect followed by another complément d'objet indirect. So the first one is complément d'objet indirect But the second one is complément d'objet second. What you need to get is just that the complément d'objet second is just un complément d'objet indirect that is following another complément d'objet. We together. And therefore, in its replacement, we shall use the understanding that we have gained in the replacement of complément d'objet indirect. For example, in our sentence, il présente son fils à son ami. If we want to replace à son ami, which is complément d'objet indirect, complément d'objet second, then we will say il lui présente son fils. Il lui présente son fils. If we would want to replace son fils, we will say il le présente à son ami. Il le présente à son ami. If we want to replace the two, then we would say il le lui présente. Il le lui présente. So this brings me to the positioning. How do we position a pronoun? In the first place, in simple tenses, this will include le présent de l'indicatif, l'imparfait de l'indicatif, le futur simple, le passé simple, le conditionnel présent, le subjonctif présent. Then we will place the pronoun before that verb. But in a composed tense, this will include le passé composé, le plusquamparfait, le futur antérieur, le passé antérieur, le conditionnel passé, le subjonctif passé. Then the pronoun is going to be placed before the auxiliary verb. Look at this sentence. Il a parlé à son père. Here we have a composed tense, a parlé. So then we are going to place the pronoun before the auxiliary verb and say il lui a parlé. Il lui a parlé. We would also have a sentence with a semi-auxiliaire. And les semi-auxiliaires sont toujours suivis par un infinitif. These are those verbs that are followed by infinitives. Verbs like aimer, which are also called les verbes modaux. Aimer, pouvoir, devoir, savoir, venir, aller. All these verbs can be followed by another verb in the infinitive form. So whenever it is an infinitive form, then that infinitive is also a complément. So looking at this verb, il aime parler de ses vacances. De ses vacances is un complément d'objet indirect, but for which verb? For the verb parler. And parler itself is un complément d'objet direct. For which verb? For the verb aimer. So parler is un complément for the verb aimer, and de ses vacances is un complément d'objet indirect for the verb parler. So therefore, if we were to replace de ses vacances, we will only have to place it before the verb that it is complementing. And the verb it's complementing is the verb parler. So we would say, il aime en parler. In the negation, the same will apply. Il n'aime pas en parler. Whenever you are having a sentence with un complément d'objet second, you may be willing to replace these two compléments. And the only way you would do it is by knowing which order the complements will have to follow in pronoun form. Look at this order, which will be used for sentences that have used simple tenses or composed tenses. This order may differ if the sentence has used un semi-auxiliaire. Take a look. The pronoun sujet will come first. Je, tu, il, elle, on, nous, vous, il or elle. Then followed by, if the sentence is in the negative form, it will always be followed by the first element of negation, ne. After no, then we will have le pronom réflexif in the case where you are using a pronominal verb. In the case where you are using a pronominal verb, mo, to, so, nous, vous, so. And then the pronouns mo, to, nous, and vous. Remember, these pronouns can either be pronom d'objet direct or pronom d'objet indirect. They share The two complements, direct and indirect, share motto, nous, and vous. And that's why we are going to put them there. They will always come first. After which, then we would have le pronom le or la or les, followed by pronom d'objet indirect, lui, leur. Then we will have pronom adverbial y, then pronom adverbial en, then the verb, then the second element of negation, either pas or jamais or guère, and then the sentence would continue. Merci beaucoup pour votre attention et j'espère que vous allez faire beaucoup d'autres exercices pour vous habituer à remplacer le complément d'objet direct, complément d'objet indirect ou même complément d'objet seconde. Je vais vous demander avant de partir de vous abonner s'il vous plaît, please subscribe, et d'appuyer même sur la cloche et comme ça, à chaque instant que je mets une nouvelle vidéo ici, vous allez recevoir une notification. Au cas où vous auriez toujours des questions sur les compléments d'objet indirect et compléments d'objet seconde, veuillez les déposer aux commentaires et comme ça nous allons voir ensemble. Merci beaucoup pour votre soutien, au revoir et à bientôt.